Yes, people, what is going on? We are back with another one, and as you've probably seen by the title of the video, this one is going to be specifically about cleaning, right? I want to do this because personally, this is something that I didn't understand to begin with the dry herb vapes, and especially with glassware, because as a smoker, in the past, an ex-smoker now, I guess, mad, but when I was smoking for all them years, I never really got on the bubblers and stuff like that because it was just too much for me, too harsh. I didn't like it. But when you're using a vape through it, it's completely different. It's completely different. Not only does it level up the experience of vaping, but it allows you to access that medicated feeling way faster. For me anyway, it allows you to. And yeah, it's not for everyone, I get that. But for those who it is, and even if you're not using glassware, your actual vape itself needs cleaning, man. And when I first started out with this stuff, I didn't really understand the cleaning side of stuff. I get that you have to take it apart and clean it, but I was kind of putting it off. And then you're getting really bad airflow, thinking, well, what am I doing with this vape wrong? Or, you know, there's things that'll start to like degrade in the performance you're getting. The taste starts getting bad. Everything starts to have a similar taste. But still, for a lot of us, this is not enough to put us off and to make us clean because we just think it's to do with a medical flower or whatever it is we think it's to do with, rather than the fact that we've not just cleaned our glassware, cleaned our vapes out for weeks. I did a poll on the Discord about this, in fact, so if you're in the Discord, you already know about the poll. It was a couple of weeks ago now, and that's because I was thinking of doing this video. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. The more conversations I have around this, the more I'm like, I need to do this video, so here we are now. On the poll, I asked the question, you know, how often do you specifically clean your, I don't know about specifically, I don't think that needed to be in there, but how often do you clean your vape and glassware? There was like every use, every day, every couple of days, every week, rarely, or when it tastes disgusting. And there was someone who come in live and said, oh, what about every 2 weeks? And I said, my response to that is, if it's every 2 weeks, I think that is rarely. And I'm speaking from a place of love, as always, and from a place of my own experience of leaving shit that long. If you leave it that long, you are definitely messing with your experience overall. Whether it's flavour, whether it's airflow, you know, it's stealing terps, man. It's stealing terps. And those terps we want for the effects, do you know what I mean? There's so many positives to cleaning out your vapes and cleaning out your glassware that I don't know why we avoid it. And literally, the more you keep on top of it, the quicker it is to do. It can take seconds if you're doing it regularly, and then just give it a swirl of water and fill it back up. If you do it every so often, you're going to have to start getting salt involved and doing multiple rinses and all this, and kind of becomes a bit of a job. And I'm again, speaking from experience, as always, I'm just some geezer sat in his car, hitting record on his phone, chatting about his experience. So take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Like I said, with the salt, drop that pinch of salt in your ISO and scrub your bubbler though. It needs doing, man. It needs doing. In the past, many times when I first started out, I was just kind of, with each vape, I was not cleaning it as often. And even when I had glass stems and stuff, I was kind of thinking, you know, I was seeing online people posting pictures of them looking filthy and thinking, oh, it'll be all right. And then eventually when I cleaned it, it was like a level up with every single aspect. It's like the first day using it again. And then I started to realize, then I heard Josh from Raw. Big up Josh from Raw, if you don't know, what a fucking positive geezer. Even though I don't smoke anymore, you know, I don't use papers and that, still big love for Josh and all his innovation, everything my man does, on a level. Maybe one day Raw will have a dry herb vape, who knows? But yeah, he did a video about lipids and about all of the bacteria and the stuff that can grow in your glassware. And that's the same with your vape. It's the same with your vape. It really got me thinking, and I'm like, well, mold, right? For anyone who doesn't know, mold is everywhere. Like right now, there's mold everywhere, right? It's spores. There's mold spores everywhere. You have to give it perfect conditions and it will grow. That's the same why people's flowers go moldy. The mold isn't in the flower. The mold is everywhere. And when you give something the perfect, you give mold the perfect conditions, it will flourish. And that's what can happen in your bubblers. That's what can happen in your vapes. If you ain't cleaning these things regularly, you will end up with mold, lipids, the waxes, cannabinoids, terps, plant material, all sorts of bits just building up inside there. And what that's going to do is not only affect the airflow, because like, you know, many of you might have heard me talk about before, you know, I used to work on the water pipes on the roads, And you get build up in these pipes sometimes where you'd have a pipe like this, but the flow of water's like this in the middle. And that's like a build up. Now, the same thing happens with these vapes and all this glassware and stuff like that. It's exactly the same. You'll get a build up, which reduces your airflow. When I first got the Globe, I didn't clean it enough. I was using it loads over the first week and a half, 2 weeks. And I couldn't get no air. The airflow was getting worse every single day. And I was thinking, what is going on? And then I pulled off the whip from the whip adapter, and just like I said, you had like obviously it's not that big, but it'd gone from that, say that's the size of that adapter. The airflow was like this in the middle because there was a build up around the outside, and that was just over a week. And that's a very small piece, so that, you know, that's going to build up very quickly. It does. That's a kind of a flaw of that bubbler, to be honest with you. Big up John Beck, you know, you already know, man's been pointing me in the right direction to improve that. But that doesn't take away from the fact you've got to clean your glass. If you don't, it's stealing so much from you, whether it's your flavour, whether it's your airflow, it is ruining the whole experience. And it is literally as simple as drop a bit of ISO in, isopropyl alcohol, 99% for anyone who doesn't know. You can get it on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description, in fact, where you can go and see the one I get. I get like 1 litre spray bottles. So I like to spray it down the stem, so it kind of, rather than just dunking it in first, I'll spray it down in a bubbler, because rather than, you know, I don't dunk the full bubbler in because that'll use a lot of ISO. So I spray it down the stem, it coats all inside the percolator, and then drips through into the rest of the bubbler. Then I swill it around, bang a bit of salt in, swill it around again. If it's extra dirty, you need the salt to kind of be abrasive. But ISO just melts that reclaim. It melts it instantly, where, you know, nothing else does the same job. If you try using water or anything else, it just doesn't do the same job. ISO just melts it and then evaporates off. So you can just pop a bit in. You can even reuse it. I've heard of people straining their ISO with cheesecloth and reusing it. So it doesn't go fully clear, apparently. It goes like slightly cloudy. I'll be honest, I keep a zip bag with a bit of ISO in there, and I'll use that for stems and like, you know, adapters and pieces like that over time. And then when it gets a certain amount of dirtiness, chuck it and fill the bag up again. But I'll keep that bag there and just keep using that. I just literally pop the stems, pop the pieces inside, cooling units, whatever it may be, and just give the bag a shake. Add a little bit of, don't know what that action was about. Give the bag a shake, put a bit of salt in there with it as well, so it kind of gives that abrasion, just to scratch and clear any little bits that are stuck to the surface. You'll be surprised how quick it does it. Like, you can literally put ISO in a bubbler, put ISO in a bag with a stem, and shake it for 2-3 minutes, and then take it out. And as long as it's not been, you know, weeks of build up, it literally will take not even 2 minutes, and then rinse water through it, let it dry off. Or if you want to, you know, people get a hairdryer and blast hot air down it, or pop it on a radio, whatever it might be, to try and dry it out quicker. But ultimately, that's all you got to do. It's a simple thing to do that we all put off. Not all of us, you know. I know some people that won't even let their water sit overnight, and that's another point. Letting your water sit overnight, right? It's not good. Eventually, I'm not saying this stuff is going to kill you, yeah? You're not going to take one draw of something and it's just going to finish you off, yeah? It's not going to happen. But it's not good for you, you know what I mean? Because all of that residue, that build up, it'll trap in, you know, dust, it'll trap in all sorts of bits of moisture and nasty stuff that you don't want in there. It will trap it and keep it in there. Same thing with leaving AVB in your devices. If you've already vaped and then left your AVB in your device, you are making that problem worse, because you're trapping in the moisture. The reclaim's all going to harden up much quicker. Your screens are going to block up quicker. Like, you're way better off emptying out your AVB as soon as you're done with it, because then it falls out dead easy. And for the most part, it's going to save you on cleaning. Dosing caps are a nightmare for this, in my opinion, because there's so many little holes on them and they just block up so easily. And if you end up leaving it in there, which I was doing, because you're like, oh, we'll fill up 10 dosing caps, take them out with me, I'll use them as I want to, and then the ones that are left in there, they end up, it builds up so fast, and it just kind of destroys the experience, in my opinion. You don't want that bacteria getting in there. You don't want your mold starting to grow. You don't want, you know, who wants to be drawing through some swamp water every day? I know it's not me, but yeah, like I say, this is from a place of love, people. I've been there and not cleaned them enough. That's why I'm saying clean them enough. Like, every week I'm cleaning my stuff, right? Pretty much every week, if not even more frequently than that. But there's the odd time where it does go over that, and I can instantly tell because I'm used to keeping it clean all the time. And I'm like, whoa, I can't use that. That's not, yeah. So it's a simple job. It's real quick, and it makes the world of difference to every single aspect of the experience. For me anyway, it's a no-brainer. It's not something that you should ever be skipping out and not doing. And ideally, don't be leaving water in there overnight, because you're creating that perfect environment for the mold. There's plenty of moisture in there. It's nice and humid. You've got stuff in there for it to feed off of as well. And if there's mold growing inside a dirty bubbler, you're not even probably going to know, because it's going to be growing so small, and you're just going to be inhaling the spores from that mold. And we talk about, irradiated flower because of people with autoimmune issues. I know we've all at some point over the years combusted some sort of mold or whatever, right? I get it. We've all inhaled it at some point, because not everyone even checks for mold. I get it. But, if you can minimize it, why not? Now, like I say, this might not be for everyone. I've heard a couple people saying that they like the taste of a dirty bubbler. But for me, absolutely not, especially when it comes along with bacteria and mold and dust and all sorts of stuff that you don't want to be breathing in. All the old degraded plant waxes and oils and, yeah, just stuff that you don't really want to be putting in your lungs, ideally. Like I say, some people not are. Some people, in fact, I've heard said prefer it, which I personally can't get on board with, but that's fine. You know what I mean? Everyone's different. I've got some flower there that you might hate, and you've got some flower there that I might hate, but we both love what we've got, then everyone's happy. But I just think it's worth putting this out there for the people who don't clean enough and don't actually understand what a difference it makes. And that was me. That genuinely was me. And now I'm here saying, on my little poll, past 1 week is rarely cleaning it, and I'm it's genuine. I genuinely think that now, because I don't think you should be leaving it that long. Who am I to tell you, though? You know what I mean? As I said at the beginning, I think I did, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm just some random guy talking about his experience, but in my opinion, wow, what a difference it makes. It's just, it's such an easy thing to do, and when you let it build up, it becomes a chore. Like, it's actually hard to clean glassware that's been left, especially like with little intricate sections. And another one that I wanted to speak on was your vapes, right? Specifically like your glass stems and stuff like that. You can see the build up, but people with mighties, venties, any of these where you can't see the cooling unit, just wipe your cooling unit off and have a look inside. I'll bet you'll be disgusted, because unless you're regularly either changing your cooling unit, I know a few people, pretty sure Herb's got a couple cooling units, a couple cooling units. Big up Herb, by the way, bro. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got a couple cooling units, and he swaps between the cooling units and then cleans one whilst he's got another in use, which is a brilliant way of doing it. That's what I do with my stems as well. I do that with my ball vape bowls. I do it with my tiny mite stems. I've done it with everything I have. I'd always have an extra and then pop one into clean whilst the other one is being in use, and you're never left without. However, if you don't have an extra, speaking from experiences why I've got extras, you think, nah, I can't be arsed today. I just want to get home, use my vape, do what I'm doing and go to bed. I can't be arsed cleaning it today. I'll clean it tomorrow. And then the same thing happens the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and and eventually you go to clean it, and it's a bully. You dunk it in ISO, you shake it about, it's not even all loosened off. Then you're like, why is it not working? You're running hot water through it, you're trying again with the ISO, and it just doesn't clean quite off, especially if you've got those little intricate parts. Now you can get the scrubber duckies, I think they're called. So good if you've got a specific bubbler or glassware that you struggle to get in those intricate parts and scrub it. But I would go as far as saying it's not needed if you clean regularly. Those scrubber duckies they're like little scouring pads, right, with magnets on the side. They're like in the shape of a duck. You drop one on the inside, and then you have one on the outside that kind of sticks to it through the glass, and then you can, I'm doing these mad movements, but you get what I'm saying, hopefully. It's like a magnetic piece with a scourer on it, and the same on the outside. You drop one inside, drop one on the outside, they snap together, and you use the one on the outside to move it around and scrub the inside of the bubbler. Sick idea. But like I say, if you're cleaning it enough, you're not going to need them. You are not going to need them. I used to have an issue with my big beaker where at the bottom, I was going to buy some of these for that specific reason. At the bottom, it would get this like film build up, and I couldn't get rid of it with ISO, and the brush I had wouldn't quite reach down to it. Eventually I got rid of it with salt, got some Himalayan salt granules, and I got some ISO and swilled it enough and got the brush in as much as I could, but it was a fucking nightmare. It took me ages to clean, and it put me off. Do you know what I mean? It's you think, and then you clean it all and you hold it up to the light and there's still a bit there, and you're like, and I just think, at this point, fucking fill it up, send it, and that's what I did. But like I say, now I keep it as clean as I can, as often as I can, and it makes it so much easier. It is a quick job. It is so quick and easy to clean. It keeps sounding like I'm ripping farts here. I don't even know the camera's picking it up. But yeah, I'm not, all right? I'm not ripping farts. But yeah, just clean out your glass, clean out your vape. Like I say, if you can't see your cooling unit, check it once a week, maybe. Just pop it off and see, oh, that's building up quite a bit there. Let me just pop that in a bit of ISO, and it will save you so much time doing it regularly. If you can do it every few days, even better. You're going to save so much time. But if you end up leaving it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it'll become like a half an hour task that you will dread, and you'll put off every single month or every couple of weeks or whatever. It will become such a big ordeal that you can't be arsed with it. And I think that's what some of these lot are doing, where they're buying new bubblers every few weeks, or whether they're buying, people buying new bubblers every few weeks, people buying, not even cleaning it, just leaving it for over and over and over again, just for a long ass time. I think that's the same issue. The same things going on there. They can't be arsed. Maybe they're just ignorant to it. I don't know. I personally have been in both sides of that. Can't be arsed and ignorant to it, not realising what it's doing. When I seen that video from Josh, like I say, talking about how the lipids steal terps, they're going to basically change the whole experience, it made me think about it a little bit more. And then he talked about mold inside, and yeah, man, I just think it's well worth spending a few minutes if you can do it every few days, if not every 7 days. It's not hard, you know what I mean? We're doing the streams now regularly, so I'm using the stream Sunday as my cleaning day. Either Saturday or Sunday, but I make sure that I've got clean glassware either just before or just after the stream, because ideally before. Sometimes if I've got a busy weekend, I'll do it after the stream. Occasionally, I'm not even gonna lie, occasionally it's gone past the Sunday into like the Tuesday, and I'm like, shit, I need to clean that glassware out. And I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be 100% honest right now, that is what's gone on right now. We're on Tuesday and I didn't clean it on Saturday, Sunday, and I am regretting it. Like, it needs doing. That rattler needs a clean, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare. You get bits of flour caught in it that end up taking ages to rinse through. Whereas you clean it regularly, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's so easy to get it out and cleaned. So that's what I'll be doing tonight when I get home. I've got a new script arrived, so I'm going to do a little look over that. And then I'll be cleaning out my bubbler, and I'll be cleaning out my stems and cleaning it all out, man, because it's got to be done. It's essential. If you're getting on this vaping thing, just spend a couple of minutes every few days, every week, wherever you can fit it in. But what I'm saying is just do it as much as you can. The more you do it, the better off you're going to be, the better your lungs are going to be, the better your flavour's going to be. There's so many positives to doing it, and the negatives to doing it, for me anyway, massively outweigh the like I say, some people say that they like the seasoned taste or I don't get that personally, but fair enough if you do, each to their own. I can't tell you what you like or I like, or I can tell you what I like, but I can't tell you what you like. But I can say you're risking mold, you're risking lipids, not risking lipids, sorry, there is going to be lipids in there, but you're risking mold growth. There's a lot of risks associated to it, health-wise, and also you are definitely, there's not even a risk, you're definitely losing flavour, losing terpenes, same kind of thing, I guess. But some of those terpenes, you're going to be wanting ingesting and inhaling those, and instead they're getting caught on the residue that's in there. You can imagine if you've got clean glassware and your vapour's going through that, the more glass it touches, the more of it gets stuck to the sides, right? Once there's a load stuck to the sides, that vapour that comes through sticks not just to the glass, but to the sticky residue that's already there. So it's like a magnet to all this stuff. It super attracts it, and it builds up quicker and quicker. You'll notice once you start seeing that visual bit of build up on something, it will build quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And you'll start to find, like with screens, even in the tiny mite, if you don't swap your screens out regularly, you're gonna have an issue. you can't get a draw, and that's because the screen's just clogged up with residue, and it's going to happen. It's literally part of the process. So anyway, people, I'm going to stop going on. We're done 20 minutes now. Big up every single one of you though, man. Thank you for helping to grow this channel, man. We're on 3.7k subs. Fucking mind-blowing, mate. Every single one of you is absolute legends, and big up everyone for being in the streams. We do 3 streams a week now. Might even be looking at doing a little special on the bank holiday next week. Some weeks we've done 4 streams. Mad. I never even thought I'd be doing streams, mate, and I'm here doing 3 streams a week. You might have noticed, you know, I'm doing a little bit less videos at the minute and doing a lot more on the streaming side of things. So if you are about on either a Wednesday night, a Friday night, or a Sunday afternoon, hop in the stream, mate. Come and catch a vibe. The community is full of legends, and I'm learning every single day off every single one of you, and we're all learning and helping each other. It's no judgment, just a fucking nice safe space for all of us lot to gather and chill, and the idiots don't even hang around because there's too much love there. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, big up everyone, man. I genuinely appreciate all of you. It's crazy where we've got to, and I can't wait to see where we're going to get to. There's a lot of big things in the works, people, just saying that. There's a lot of ideas and things that are being worked on every day at the minute. If you're not already, go and hop in the Discord. And if you've watched up until this point, as always, drop the 420 in the comments below, people. Come on, you already know the 420 crew. I appreciate you, man. Every time I see them comments coming up saying 420, I'm just like, fucking legend, mate. I know a lot of people don't watch to the end, or the ones who do might not even comment. But if you have, just drop the comment. It lets me know, you know what I mean? It lets me know. YouTube doesn't really explain it like that. So it's nice to actually see who actually made it right up until the end. But yeah, big up everyone. I'm going to dip there. I hope you have a brilliant Tuesday. I'll catch you on the Wednesday stream if you're active, if you're available. And if not, Friday or Sunday, or potentially Monday. I'm going to keep you tuned on that one. Posted tuned. I don't know what to say there. But yeah, I'll let you know about the Monday one. Potentially do an extra little one for the bank holiday Monday. You know what I mean? We'll see what's going on. But either way, big love everyone. Thanks for being here, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy. Clean your glass. Clean your vapes. Yeah, big love everyone. See you soon. Safe.